All right, today we're going to start talking about transformations. And today especially we're going to look at translation and reflection. So make sure you're taking good notes because the sub is not going to give you your worksheet that is homework until you have your notes done. All right, so on the top of your notes page, you need to write this. To transform something is to change it. In geometry, there are specific ways to describe how a figure is changed. The transformations you will learn about include translation, reflection, rotation, and dilation. All right, today you're only going to worry about translation and reflection. So every time you transform something, all right, it is common practice that you rename the shapes. So like you start with a shape and you have capital letters that name it. So like the shape is shape A, B, C, D. All right, when you transform it, it is common practice to name transformed shape using the same letter with a prime symbol, which is what, it's like an apostrophe. Okay, so it's A prime, B prime, D prime, C prime. And that means that it started out A, B, C, D, but now it has been changed to A prime, B prime, C prime, D prime. All right, so when you think of the word translation, okay, I think of like translating languages, right? Whether it's you translate English to Spanish or Spanish to English or French to English or English to Chinese, Mandarin, all right? When we translate, the content of what's being translated should stay the same for the most part, all right? Sometimes there's little translation errors, but okay, so like if you translate something, you pretty much are saying the same thing in a different language. Okay, nothing's changing except for the language. So that's what it is to translate a shape. All right, nothing changes, all right, except that you change its position. So you slide a figure. You don't turn it, you don't make it bigger, you don't flip it, you just slide it. All right, so like shape A, B, C becomes A prime, B prime, C prime. That is translated, all right, because it just slid from the left side of the screen to the right side of the screen. Okay, so you have your original, your slide, you have your image. So for example, if I'm starting here, all right, and I'm saying I'm going to translate right 4, okay? If you go right, that means you're going positive change, so you're adding 4. And then you're going down 3, okay? Your new shape goes down here. And then you do the same to A. You translate A, right 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and down 3, 1, 2, 3. Translate C, right 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, down 3. All right, so your whole shape, every side, every letter has been translated, right 4, down 3. All right, so we're going to graph the image of rectangle CDEF after 5 translated units right. So the only way we're doing this, all right, is you have to write the original coordinates first. So this is going to get us good practice with writing coordinates. So if I look at where C is, right here, C is -8. Oh my, I don't have enough room. -8 and -10. All right, so the original coordinate is -8, -10. D's original coordinate is -6, -10. E is -6, -7. And F is -8, -7. All right, so you should have your original coordinates written first. All right, then we're going to translate the C, D, E, F 5 units to the right. So I'm going to start with C, and I'm going to go 5 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Change the color. It'll be red. So my new C, is right here. And I name it C prime. All right? And then I take There's a couple ways you can do this now. You could either realize that this is C prime and you can just translate everything else. So we know that C and D are 2 apart. So I can put that there. And I know that F and E are 3 up. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And there's my new shape, C prime, and then you have to label it D prime, F prime, E prime. All right. And then we need to rewrite our translated coordinates. So our new C is now at -3, -10. Okay, I translated it 5 to the right, so if you think about it, -8 plus 5 is -3. Okay, I didn't move it up or down, so I didn't change the Y. All right, our new D is -1, -10. Our new E is -1, -7. And our new F is -3, -7. All right, we're going to do another one. So, RST. Also, notice that the way you say it, you say your shapes in alphabetical order. All right, you don't go TSR. Doesn't make sense. So it's triangle RST. So we're going to translate it. 14 units left and 3 units down. So first you're going to write in your original coordinates. Pause the video and you do that yourself and then check it with me. All right, so you should have R is 7,2, S is 8,2, T is 8, -2. Now we're going to translate 14 to the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And 3 down. 1, 2, 3. And that is our new R. Okay, doesn't like when I do this. So that's R prime. Okay. I could do the same, and I would get S prime here. And T is 1, 2, 3, 4 down from S. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and then with a straight edge, which you can do a lot better than I can, so like your ID, make the new shape. Obviously, yours should look a lot better than I just made. All right. So R, the new coordinates for R, is -7 and -1. Again, we went 14 units left, so 7 minus 14 is -7. That's how we got this, all right? And then we went 3 down, so 2 minus 3 is -1. Okay, S is -6, -1. And T is -6, -5. All right, every time you have to have your original coordinates and your translated coordinates written. All right, so I want you to try this one. Pause the video, try it, all right, and then unpause the video. All right, this is what you should have when you translate your shape, all right. Again, if you can pick up on the pattern, it makes it a lot easier, all right, when you're rewriting your translated coordinates. The shape doesn't change its size, so if the shape looks different than the original shape, you did something wrong, all right. All right, so now we have reflection, so turn your paper over to the back, and I need you to write down this paragraph, or part of it. You don't have to write down the whole thing. So a reflection can be seen in a mirror, in glass, or a shiny surface. What you should really write down is what's bolded. So an object and its reflection of the same shape and size, but the figures face in opposite directions. All right, so this time you don't move it up and down or left and right, you flip it pretty much, all right? So in a mirror, that's a reflection, or in water, that's a reflection. Okay, so now we have a line of reflection that we have to worry about. So line reflections are flips, you're flipping it. All right, so if you fold the two shapes together, the line of reflection, all right, the two shapes would overlap exactly. So if you fold on the line, you will have exactly overlapping shapes. So here we have something reflected just to show you what is happening. So my first coordinates, I'm going to write them. A is 2, 3. B is 5, 4. And C is 2, 4. Okay. Oh, I totally did that wrong, everyone. A prime is 2, 3. B prime is 5, 4. Sorry. And C prime is 2, 4. Okay. A is 2, negative 3. C is, or B is 5, negative 4. And C is 2, negative 4. So if you're looking at this shape, all right, we got to figure out what the line of reflection is. So to figure that out, we figure out where is exactly the middle line between the shapes. So if I think about it, I'm going to go like A, up 1, down 1, up 1, down 1, up 1, down 1. So they meet straight here. Okay, so that means x-axis is the line of reflection. They are exactly the same distance away from the x-axis. All right. Okay, so here we go. Now we're going to reflect across the y-axis. Right? So the first thing I'm going to do is write down my coordinates, like always. So D is negative 2, 1. And we're just going to assume this is counting by ones. E is negative 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. G is 2, 4. And F, which is here, you can't really see it very well, is 0, 5. All right, so we're reflecting across the y-axis. So what I'm going to do is actually draw a line right here on the y-axis, just so that I know that that is where I'm reflecting. Okay, so anything that is on that axis is not going to change. So F is going to stay the same. Anything that is to the left of it is now going to have to be moved to the right. So E and D are going to flip, and G is also going to flip, all right, over to the left. So the biggest thing is just making sure that your points are just the same distance they were from the y-axis in this case. So if you notice E, we're going to start with E. We're going to start with D because we're going to go in order. So D is 2 away from the y-axis. So my new reflection point has to be 2 away on the other side. So if I count 1, 2, that is where D prime is going to go. Okay. E is 3 away. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to count 3 over here. 1, 2, 3. And that is where E prime is going to go. Okay? You don't necessarily need to write all those lines. G is 2 away. And so when I flip it, it's going to have to also be 2 away over here. So here's G prime. And then F prime doesn't flip because it's on the line of symmetry, or the line of reflection. So if I draw it, I have the same shape, but it's just flipped. It is the reverse of the shape. So D prime is now at 2, 1. E is now at 3, 4. G is negative 2, 4. And F is 0, 5 because that did not change. All right. When you flip across the y, the x coordinates change. They flip from positive to negative. All right. That's because you're flipping it. All right, another one. So now we have reflection across the y-axis. So one thing that I want you to write down on your paper right now and circle it is that when you have y equals something, okay, That's always going to be a horizontal line. When you have x equals something, that's a vertical line. So in this case, if we're reflecting across y equals 1, right, here is my line of reflection. This is where y equals 1, and it is just straight across. Okay, we've learned that before. So Q is at -5 and 3. R is at -2 and 4. S is at -5 and 2. All right, so now again, we just have to count how many away it is from the line of reflection. So if I start with Q, Q is 1, 2 away from the line of reflection. So when I flip it, I'm also going to be 2 away, but on the same line. So 1, 2. That's Q prime. All right. R is 3 away, and so when I move it down, I'm also going to be 3 away. Here's R prime. And then S is 1 away, right? So it's just going to be 1 away. This is S prime. Okay, so I connect it. Again, please use your straight edge because as you can see, you cannot draw a very good shape if you don't have a straight edge. All right, so Q prime is at -5. That's not going to change. And -1. R is at -2 and 2. And S is at -5 and 0. Okay, last one. So here is your line of reflection, x equals 2. Okay, I want you to pause the video and I want you to do the coordinates. All right, make the shape. All right, this is what you should have had when you reflect it across the x-axis, or across x equals 2. Again, nothing actually changes, okay? Like the shape doesn't change, but it just flips, all right? It's like a reflection. You're looking at it as a reflection. All right, take your notes page to the sub to get your worksheet. Use this notes page, all right? And every single time, I have places for you to do this. Every time you need to write your original coordinates and then your translated coordinates. Every time.